Welcome back to the NDS. We are here at Nazareth for the 7th race of the season. Quick look down qualifying. And back up. Gonna have one hell of a race here. Pace car already in the field. Getting down to the curved front stretch. CS Fast Lane 11 on pole. And it's going to be a green flag to kick off the Subway 300. Here we go. That dog leg, very reminiscent of a certain other track on the schedule, but no shortcut potential. And getting single filed out in the front is pretty good for the guys trying to keep it safe early on. But it's also, when you're near the front, restarts are a great way to jump position early. So you see a lot of drivers using the low side to their advantage. Bring up our top 10 here as we look. And this battle for 5th, Hyperdrive looking, trying to establish a run on exit while at the same time wanting to make a move to the inside. It's definitely tough. Toad Warrior running 3rd right now, trying to look for a way around Logan. Logan getting a good run through 1 and 2. This could be it, but sacrifices a bit on exit. That's not exactly ideal here for the 42 team. The top 3 remain single file. Let's go back out. It's just outside the top 10. A few pretty solid cars here. That one racer, Frosty Wusky, and Kyle D. All outside the top 10 as the 38 currently runs in 10th place. See Landon and Mizzou trading spots. This is 14th to the 78. A little further back, Team Duke sitting with Jake. They're just barely inside the top 20. Trying to get by the 14. Razor, one of our fantasy drivers that had pretty good qualifying, dropping early on. And the 66 joins the action, rounding out the top 20 in the running order. Continuing back, Born Ready has thought he qualified well, but has dropped pretty significantly. He's back down to about relatively battling top 25. Fink, Seto, Eastlamp looking for his top 25 spots. Canadian Lux had really poor qualifying. He's trying to work his way up early. As let's just flash back to the front right now. Toad Warrior's taken 2nd over Logan. Pretty good move to be made as drivers inside the top 10 looking to take it one at a time and solidify a good run. Back here, as you see the 9 and the 20 doing battle. Seto fell a bit behind. Zentz is also struggling in the pits as well. Fink, aside from that lucky run in Brooklyn's kind of having a rough rookie season. BS Fast Lane 11 back to being in the back. The 8, Frosty to Otter, really far back there. And you got guys like Gamma and Jerry side by side. I think the 4 is going to start losing some more spots. And then these are like the last 2 drivers. And then just rounding out the field, all the fantasy drivers. Actually, Tank Gunner, in that alternating 48 schedule, just running, filling out the back. As Darkest Presence gets past and is now in last. So that's the field in a nutshell. .42 of Logan trying to work on getting underneath the 60. And this short straightaways can be really good. If you take this dogleg turn, you can get the line advantage and just keep your nose underneath to try to get the position. But I think the 60 is clear. A lot of good defense played to counter that solid offense. So well played on the part of the 60 team, holding off second place. See RS Fast and 11. He definitely had a bad start, but has gotten down to the low side and is wanting to make up ground. KSS BSS was stuck on the high side, lost 3 positions in a single lap. I think Ben McDonald, that one racer, both in their way into the top 10. As I think Misty Viper may have caught the wall there. A little bit of damage on that 31. I remember he was up there with Racing Fan in the 38 battling for something, but now he's fallen off and back pretty far, so 31 not looking so hot here. Team Duke giving, oh, something's wrong with that 31. He looks real off back there. Definitely some early problems for Misty Viper. There's Tiger Man now there to make the pass. I think they got to be looking for a yellow to try to reset here, but not sure if you get it. Oh, we think we might get one. Yeah, that is a yellow. Damn. Spoke it into existence. First caution of the day. This looks like some guys in the back just kind of doing a little stupid. Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't get this. It doesn't get dumber than this. Darkest Presence running dead last. I don't know if he washed up into the 86 or if the 86 came down, but the result is the same. They both spin into each other. Do a helicopter cam from Fred Jones. Like, there's no other cars coming. These are the bottom 2 on track. That the only 2 drivers outside the top 40 spinning out into the wall. Presence and Jones not going to be happy about that one. The 2 titans of fantasy getting into each other. Alright, I think... Oh! A pit stop for the 11. And Ben McDonald. So, Ben and CS getting off strategy compared to the rest of the field. That is interesting. The CS, he has good points. He led a lap this race. He's got the pole. Like, he's pretty stacked as far as small accolades. And Ben has 2 wins. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. First caution. The restart's definitely going to be popping off. Interesting here as drivers try to siphon their way across. Let me check that 31 team. They had damage. They're still kind of hovering 13th right now, which isn't terrible. So it's everyone back to Team Duke rounding out the top 10 for the restart. Let's get our top 10 analyzer back up as we hit the restart zone. Toad Warrior with a good launch RS Fast 11 up to 4th and Hyper inside the top 5 as well. So new faces definitely come into play. 10 a little up the track. Krugemeyer in the 6th and 3rd. If the 6 team been so long because they've been to victory lane looking for some here as Hyperdrive commit to pass on RS Fast and 11. You don't want to give up that low side because it's like you just get shuffled back if you get popped up high. Seventh place, KSS BSS riding right around the back here. And then there's Team Duke who's just slicing and dicing. I mean, props to the 38 for trying to play defense, but I think 84 will get him eventually. See plenty of drivers trying to get runs off the high side. The battles of both KSS BSS getting passed, and Team Duke being very aggressive on the back of a 38. Like, definitely got him pretty solidly here. And it's kind of a shame I had to leave the window open because then Kyle D's going to take it as well. Kyle D moving right on by. Not what you want to see. Toad Warrior kind of out front doing a fine job. RS Fast 11 and Hyperdrive, they've been battling for 4th, back and forth quite a bit. But they got to watch out as they got some pretty fast company on their 6. RS not wanting to give up multiple spots, but he sees what's behind, the 43 and the 1, both pretty solidly executing here. That might have to be an intentional sack just to get on the low side, on the right side of the track. Team Duke's probably going to be pressuring the 1 pretty hard here. Oh, the 1 almost into the wall. And that's exactly what I thought would happen. Alright, let's go back up. See if that 42 is trying to catch the 60 in any means. Keep our eyes on interval here. That's all we got. Alright, let's jump back to outside the top 10. Jake has Mizzou in his sights. Nothing too much. Queso has managed to run up to 16th place. Zentz is doing a great job inside the top 20. Laundry Sauce is back there. I think Landon and Bourne kind of fell back a little bit. With a 66, a fucking Ringo dude's working on the 51. And I think right there might just be enough for the 66 to finish the job. Yeah, I think Queso's going to lose 2 spots here. Zentz might get him as well, especially going into 3. As Mizzou gets passed by Jake. Yeah, you could see the 51 just not holding up at all. Oh, hard wall impact for Team Duke. What happened here? Oh, that's a lot of wall for Duke right there. The 84 just misplayed it, and I think that's going to hurt him significantly. His lap time is awful right now. He's going to lose out on so much track position. He's currently barely holding off top 10. 34 Tiger Man the wall as well. Tires might just be at a premium here as drivers are barely hanging on. Pit road still an empty place. And Team Duke is still on the cusp of holding that top 10 spot off. Oh, but he drills it again. A problem with the 84. He's definitely off his game as he loses a top 10 spot to Racing Fan. Toad Warrior and Logan are like right there near each other. The top two. There's a pretty significant gap. That 84 is not giving up. He's got pace, but damn, those wall hits. You can't ignore those. Jake is in this mix trying to break into a top 10. Misty Viper's there. How much longer can you go on a green flag run? Oh, they're coming in. Trying to fill the gap. I think Mizzou coming back on the 77. 77 kind of analyzing the situation and into the wall a little bit. It's not safe out there. Not exactly safe. Let's see how the 11's doing. Remember, CS Fast in 11. He's up to 25th after that pit stop, which is pretty good, and Ben's only a few spots behind him. So if they could catch the good side of this green flag cycle, they can actually benefit significantly here. On board with Logan, see him trying to reel in the 60. Toad Warrior has been leading quite a bit of laps here. Hyperdrive is cleared out to third as the rest of the top 10 are right there. I think they're trying to one-stop it here because we're coming up on halfway in the race. And it's just been quite a bit of green so far. The top two way out there. Hyper, Racer, third and fourth. I think everyone's still in the race. Yeah, everyone's still on the lead lap, so there's a little bit of like a game of chicken one to be played on who's going to pit first. You also have to remember those caution laps they took may have done a little saving themselves. But I imagine it won't be too much longer till they pit. A big conga line here for 6th, all the way back to 9th. Now, which one of these drivers is going to make the mistake and lose the spots? The 10's a little up the track. 71 Frosty Wusky might take advantage. Let's see. And looking at this 71, he might peak. He might actually peak. Not sure. The 60 still putting gap on out there for the lead. Battle for third is there. Hyperdrive and that one Racer. Hyper's just trying to do everything he can to keep defense. Get much on corner exit, keep it out of the wall, just do something. Toad's just pulling away. Getting late into the run, it's getting harder and harder to actually do something here. Even outside the top 10, I think Jake is still fighting for something inside the top 15. Actually, speaking of top 15, Team Duke's still there, and now they've got some drivers coming onto pit road now. The green flag pit stops have begun. Surprised Team Duke trying to stay out as long as he can. I'm also surprised how good the 66 has been here, as he is was inside top 15 right before the stops began. Logan in, Hyper in, and I think Kyle D gonna be the first one to stay out. Leading that lap. But 24 did not lead that lap. So now Kyle D probably going to come in this time. Definitely not too optimal for a strategy there. The 66 also going long, and the 77. Here's the thing. CS Fast and 11 and Ben can go about 10 more laps. So there's still a chance that the 11 and 16 can trap a lot of cars. Remember, those two pitted on the first caution. There's still plenty of time left for these two. And Kyle D did lead the lap that he came down pit road. CS Fast and 11 and Ben McDonald is the fight for the lead as green flag pit stops happen around everybody. Remember, everybody's coming out on different laps. So, at this point, there's only about, 5 cars on the lead lap. That's not even counting the drivers who had a really bad pit stop, so some of them fell back a lot. So the 11 and 16 are basically holding the entire field hostage to this moment. That's not counting the drivers who had bad pit stops, as some of those drivers fell significantly in the ranks due to an iffy pit stop. As the battle for the lead kicks off, Ben McDonald wants to lead a lap here in this 16. So the 16 going to get a lap led. Krugermeyer trying to unlap herself. If the top two were to pit, that would cycle to Logan, with Hyper being 4th, RS being 5th. Oh, the 11 is blown up. Problems for CS Fast and 11. This is consequential here. The 11 team needs to get down to pit road. They just passed it. They have to go all the way around. Ben McDonald is currently the sole leader holding this field hostage right now. Trying to run long, see a caution. As the 11 team is donezo. CS Fast and 11 has made it to pit road. Horrible break for such a good run. Gamma Tears looks pretty fucked up. That doesn't look good. Meanwhile, you see KSS BSS Krugermeyer attempting to unlap themselves. And you see the 11 done. So Ben basically is in control of this race. That will be a last place finish for the 11 team. So Ben is on really old stuff. He's just trying to see how many he can trap now. That puts us on 6 cars on the lead lap. Back to the 43. Frosty Wusky, fucking Ringo dude, Toad Warrior, and that one Racer are all drivers looking to unlap themselves in the near future. I'm not sure how long Ben can run. I believe the first caution was a healthy 10 laps into the race. So I believe that Ben has not that many laps left on his run right now, trying to fish a yellow into existence. There's drivers like Mizzou in the 78, just kind of had a poor stop, all things considered. Ben's still cooking out there. And Toad Warrior is hounding the 66. This is for 8th right here. Toad Warrior trying to pick up every spot he can inside the top 10. Here comes the 8 car that Frosty the Otter backs out. Saw something, not sure what that was in front, but could be an issue for someone else, as all 3 of these lap cars are just hounding the back bumper of Ben McDonald. The 66 has to go wide to accommodate for Toad. Toad wants to get that position. The 71 is pressuring the 16. Ben McDonald probably wants to stay low because he doesn't want to be stuck when he needs to come down pit road. And he also doesn't want to intentionally minge because he's the leader. He does have a right to defend. There's no reverse blue flags. I think Toad getting another spot is going to benefit here. And that one racer in 10th is caught back up to the 66. Ben McDonald staying out quite a bit longer, and this lap he finally comes in. 16 team in this time. They need to execute a good pit stop here in order to get this thing a decent finish. Meanwhile, I think that would put 25 cars in the lead lap. Racing Fan being the last car on the lead lap at that point. As I think the 42 will be the presumed leader. Ben might take less stuff to try to get back out there in a reasonable time, but the 42 has now presumed control of the race. Hyperdrive in second. Jake just had an unfortunate stop. He's back there, kind of running poor time. I think Ben McDonald, he'll get back out there. He's still not terrible. He's within shot of a top 10. Just has to get past Racer, Ringo, or any of those other guys. So I don't think Ben McDonald is truly over, but we're getting into the later stages of the race with the 42 leading. Hyperdrive has about 2 seconds to make up if he wants to get this race back under control. This goes shout out all the way back to the number 38 on lead lap. Somebody's in the wall again. That might be Duke again. This race has gone tits up pretty fast for the 84 team. As a couple fancy drivers battling in front. The 38's back to pass Team Duke, and 84 himself might go a lap down here, as he is doing all the stops to try to protect himself and get himself on the lead lap. Misty Viper trying to unlap himself. A lot of lap traffic charades happening, and the 42 has to manage all of this to cap off the run of his career. Oh, Smoker, that's Zentz in the 17. The 17 with a mechanical issue. And speaking of things that could be problematic, you see the progress that the 33 of Hyperdrive has made. He's coming. Hyperdrive is a coming. The gap is down to a second back to Logan. RS Fast and 11 is trying to slice and dice his way up through to get his piece of the pie. But 33 has been tracking much better laps than the 42. Let's see if this can mount to anything. Cut the gap down about a third of a second. And with this, lap traffic trouble, and Hyper's there. Hyper is there. Oh, but 33 really slow. That could be proving trouble on exit for one of our drivers as the 14 comes down pit road. 6 to go. Logan's just got to hope this lap traffic can be of nuisance to Hyper. This might be an old-fashioned duel to the end between the 33 and the 42. Who's got the bigger cock? Who's got the drive, the hunger? 5 laps to go. The 14 coming off pit road for an unscheduled stop. Meanwhile, everybody is on the edge of their seats for this one hell of a finisher. But 33, he sees all that lap traffic. He knows that the 42 is going to have some issues with that. Managing his gap, just seeing what he can do. The 10 has kind of dropped back a bit, so it's just a 2-horse race, it looks like. Dirtman 5 falling back. And the 5 having to go by here one at a time. Oh, that lap car might not let him get the exit he wants. But I think both leaders are struggling here as we get 3 to go. It's like a shark circling his prey as another car is blown up. Darkest Presence this time, the 62. Oh, this yellow flag is out. Something's happened here. And that's going to put us under a pace car. What happened? What the hell happened here? Something happened at the end. I don't see. Oh! The 62 stopped on the track. He didn't even make it back to the garage. He just straight up stopped. And that is going to be an issue. For him, at least. He's going to have not a good finish. White flag in the air. This puts us at a solid 23 cars in the lead lap. 3 DNFs. A solid race result. So it turns out that we are not going to have enough time for a restart. Pending the pacing, the results are as is. So coming across the final turn of Nazareth for his First career win. Logan has done it. It may have been the anticlimactic showdown of a stopped car on the track, but a win's a win. And honestly, it's pretty overdue for this team. Back to the end of the lead lap. Hold. Pop champagne. It's finally upon us. The 42 team is a winner. So many ups and downs here that we were celebrating. A lot of good runs, a lot of botched opportunities, but at the end of the day, it was one hell of a race at Nazareth. That's all we got for this race. We'll see you next time. Take care.